Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL Season 26, F40 Round 4 at Spain. I'm your commentator, IRL Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. Unfortunately, my co-commentator, Matt, today can't be here, but he will be back for next week. And good evening, Alan. Welcome to the stream. Well then, while we wait for the drivers to ready up, thank you very much. As we are should be going actually now, as Krypton has set ready up. In the standings right now, as we go on the drivers' standings, currently Dynastics and Krypton are tying on points with 32 points to their name. They both had a win each, except Dynastics had a podium and Krypton hasn't. They're first and second. Lyrinix in third with 28 points, looking a contender for the title, and same with Scuba with 28 points as well. So top four both tying on points next to each other right now. And fifth is Matthews with 12 points. Cozy in sixth also with 12 points. Spaghetti with 9 points. Brandon, well, there's a lot of people actually tying on points here. Brandon and Slimbo also 9 points, so 7th to 9th is tied. And then Dartball in 10th with 6 points, but the past two rounds he's DNF'd in both rounds. Although we'll go on the constructors. AlphaTauri then with Slash and Dynastics in the lead currently by a point, 38 points to their name. With Haas in second actually with 37 points, as they've had a decent few rounds with points. As we're now starting actually to go underway, we've got 7 seconds. Third place is Williams, like a person in Krypton, 36 points, 2 points off the AlphaTauri, so it's a very close Constructors' Championship at the moment. With Alfa Romeo in fourth, Scuba and Jack Lacey with 28 points. Red Bull in 5th with 15 points, Renault 6th with 14 points, Ollie Flavel and Brandon in the Mercedes doing well at the moment with 13 points in 7th, Ferrari is only a point behind in 8th with 12 points, then Racing Point in 9th with 6 points, and last unfortunately is the McLaren team with 3 points to their name and 35 points to the leader. Well then, that is the standings, and you all should be up to date with that, as we have 16 I believe today. It's a shame, but it's better than none, as we are now loading while people pick their setups. For the F6 tier, it was full wets in quali. Will there be any rain this weekend? And the cloud looks clear, so no weather for quali. As we make sure everything is loading good, and let's see who will be at the top step at Spain. But before I do that, let's make a qualifying prediction. For first place then, I'm going to go with the AlphaTauri of Dynastics. I think he's going to take pole position. With second place Kryptonite, and third Danestar. But I'm going to give a odd person for fourth. I think Brandon in the Mercedes, he's been performing a bit better as he's actually getting ready to go out in his Mercedes on the medium compound of tyre to leave the garage. But I believe there's an AlphaTauri out first, which I believe is actually Slash. So Slash then is out first on the mediums. Everybody else is on softs. Belgian Grand Prix is the next one after this, and it's an easy one-stop strategy at that track, but it can be very easy to have an accident and crash, as wet weather will probably be there, to be honest. As right now then we stay on board with Slash, who's had an alright season. I think he was actually fighting with his teammate last round, as now he's going turn 9, where in F6 I believe it claimed a lot of victims. Hopefully it doesn't do that for the F4. Slash then is getting ready then through turn 13, now into turn 14 and 15, as now he's about to go into 16, as now he begins his qualifying run. DRS activated on hot lap and overtake. Down the main straight he goes. As hopefully there's no traffic as the res point now. Just leaving the pit lane as he runs on the curb, which is best thing you can do. Get a nice tight entry, run wide, then take a tight turn in turn 3. As you can see there, nice tidy run, making the shortest run possible. Stays in 7th gear there into turn 4. Short shifts from 3rd to 5th. As he's now approaching number turn 5. Oh, bit of a lock up there on the left front. This is probably still not getting the grips on these mediums. I think he'll definitely do a soft run here at the end of this quad. I think this would just be a banker as he goes through turn 8. Now approaching turn number 9. Nice and tidy there. As there is a Haas ahead of him. Hopefully the Haas doesn't get in the way. There's a very nice and tight lap. Purple in sector 2. And actually Brand actually came back into the pit, so maybe that was a mistake to go on the mediums. As Slash then has had a very nice and tidy lap now. Right, let's get a bit of hesitant on the throttle. Max power around the final corner. DRS activate out of ERS already. And he does a 115.3. So currently in pole position. As we go on board with Krypton, I believe, who's next. Actually, no, it's actually Lewis Milan, who's finishing off his lap. His ERS is still left, and he's done a 14.972 on the soft. So yeah, a couple of tenths quicker than Slash, who did it on his mediums. And the other AlphaTauri did a 15.2. So only a couple of thousandths quicker than his teammate on a different tyre compound, the quicker tyre compound. So Slash could be on a fly today as Toby does a 114.850 and it takes pole position as we go on board with... I was actually going on board with Spaghetti, but he's just done his lap. The Alfa Romeo Scuba, he goes 5th with a 115.3. As next up is Kryptonite actually, and he takes pole with a 14.668. As here comes Matthews now, who's been close for the championship fight. And he does a 15.826, and that was a banker for him as Cozzy sets a new fastest lap, 114.319. As Dainsett does a 21.4, that is a definite banker for him. As Mark moves into 4th place with a 14.903, as I believe that's actually Wentink finishing his run. No, he peels into the pits. Brett's on a out lap, so stay on board with him then, as Brandon's actually just behind him. As here we go then, takes the exit curb, nice tight entry through turn 1 and 2. I don't get how that wasn't invalidated. He did cut the corner, but he's been very lucky with that. As now he is approaching turn 4, and purple in sector 1 currently. So he's quicker than Cozzy in sector 1. Oh, running really wide there. Got to cost him a little bit of time, running on the grass a little bit. Oh, rear end's very unstable on Brett's car in the Renault. As he's now going through the twisty section into turn 9 now. Got to get this right, and gets it perfect there as Bran is closing actually. So Bran, I think, maybe on a quicker lap. This is closed a little bit. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he does. Not a bad lap from Brett actually. Now he's winding it up around the final 2 corners. As we go on board with Bran, who is next. And here comes Brett. Brett goes 4th place with a 114.8. What about Bran? Bran goes 5th with a 114.893. Only a couple of hundredths there off Brett. And he will be happy with that at the moment, since he's had a poor start to the season, especially with qualifying. And I think he's worked his qualifying a little bit better right now, as he's currently in 5th place. However, anybody else on a lap? No, for some reason the graphics saying Brandon 0 laps soft, even though he's not. Have a look. We will go on board with the Haas, is it? No, it's actually Slash, actually back on soft tyres. And they're going to be setting another lap very soon. As well, I'll wait for Slash then to round up. Final couple of corners to begin the lap. As here comes Slash then, beginning his second flying lap. He did a 1:15.301 on medium tyres, only a couple of thousandths off his teammates. So, will Slash be able to perform to his teammates? His teammates done very well this season, currently leading the Drivers' Championship. Will Slash have any way to hinder him today? As he's nice and tight through turn 3 on the softs, it's going to be a lot grippier of a tyre. As he comes into turn 4, short shifts from 3rd all the way to 5th there. A bit of the rear end will look like a bit unstable. He's now put it to turn 5. Will he lock up? Yes, a bit of a lock up down the left front again. So we may see a lot of lockups from Slash in the turn 5, the left-hander, as he's now in turn 7 and 8. Coming up turn 9, rides the curb there. Great exit there, maxing power. Goes into 8th gear. What's this sector? Currently purple. 1 and a bit tenths up, almost 2 tenths up on his lap. 2 tenths won't be good enough for Paul, I don't think. So he needs to find a lot more time. Maybe he backed off in the final sector. As here he comes now round the final corner. Here comes Slash. What will he do? Will he be able to get pole position? No, he gets third with a 14.7, 5 tenths improvement there, so he found a lot of time on that final sector. However, we'll go on board with the Haas of LR_Lyrinix, who's currently, I believe, 3rd in the championship. Coming across the final corner now. What time will Lyrinix do? And goes 13th with a 16.5. Now that's definitely got to be a banker, unless there was a mistake somewhere. And I can tell you, Lyrinix will not be happy with that, as we'll go on board with Lewis Milan then, in the Williams. Currently in 8th place with a 1:14.972. He's really getting close to that curb. That setup, what he's got, looks a lot good for the circuit, as he's 9 thousandths up on his time in sector 1. Not purple though, so he maybe not challenging for pole yet. Oh, bit of a lock up there in turn 5. A lot of people struggling with this corner. Through 7 and 8. Oh, bit of hesitant there on the input of the wheel. It looked like he almost lost it. Purple in sector 2, however, 1 and a bit tenths up on the lap right now, which would be a 14.8 or 7. Oh, that's yellow flags. Is that a Red Bull? Someone's lost it through turn 3. That could be Dainstar. I will have a look in a minute. However, the laggy person, or Lewis Milan, is coming around the final corner now. What time will it be? It is a 14.6. Currently 3rd place. Currently a couple hundredths there up against his teammates, who's currently in 4th with a 1:14.668. And that's good to see for the Williams driver. However, it isn't Matthews. It was Dainstar. Has Dainstar got any damage on the car? And not right now. However, though, we'll go on board with Ollie Flavel, who's actually finishing the lap there. The out Ferrari takes 6 gate road to get out of the way. As Oliver is looking to score some points this weekend, as the only points I believe he scored all season round is the first round at Austria. He only scored 4 points, and the past 2 rounds he hasn't scored any. As right now then, he's coming around the final 2 corners, round the last corner, maxing out the speed on that Mercedes, and goes 12th with a 15.640 on medium tyres. He's the only person on mediums. However, we'll go on board with Wensing in the Racing Point, who's also on a lap right now. And the only person who hasn't actually set a lap in this qualifying session. As he's now coming around the final corner, what time will it be? It is a 1:15.353. It sits him in 12th place currently. Beats Ollie Flavel's time, but Ollie Flavel is on medium, so I'm expecting Ollie to at least do a 14.7, possibly a 14.6 on soft tyres. As anybody else on a lap at the moment, there's people on out laps. Now, I think Krypton will be the first actually to begin a lap, and it is. Krypton then coming down the long straight of Spain. As he runs wide into turn 1, nice and tight there. Through turn 2, riding both of the curbs. Approaching turn 3, getting so close to the curb, just skimming it with his right front tyre. Still staying close to the inside to get a short run into turn 4. And a lot of people actually staying in 7th there, as he's running a bit tense up on his time. So he's currently purple in sector 1, so he could be challenging for pole position. Currently held by Causey with a 1:14.319. Let's see what Krypton can do, as he's now approaching turn 7 and 8. Very nice and tidy lap at the moment. No mistakes from Krypton. That's through turn 9. Didn't lift at all there. No hesitation on the wheel or anything. So he's doing a lot better than his teammate did. And there's a Renault off in the grass. That is Brett. Oh, actually Krypton's lost a bit of time. Lost a couple of hundredths. Under a tenth at the moment. So he needs to gain some time back, as he's currently not purple in sector 2. As now he's finishing off the lap in the chicane. Got to be careful with track limits around here. As here he comes then. Round the final corner. What time will it be? Will it be pole? Will it be an improvement? It is an improvement. It's third place with a 14.447. Just missed out on his championship rival in second place. That's Nissix, who's on an out lap right now. But who is actually on a lap? And that is actually Slash in the Red Bull. Sorry, AlphaTauri, currently on a lap. As Nissix will be next lap, so we'll go on board with our championship points leader. Who... Oh, Slash was very close to track limits. Coming to the line, what time will it be? And it's a 14.437, 100th quicker than Krypton, and Krypton won't be happy with that. However, Nistic now will be up for pole position. Only needs to improve by a tenth and a bit to get pole. Let's see what his sector 1 time is. Getting really short run there, a lot shorter run than Krypton would have, and he's down currently in sector 1 by a couple of hundredths, which isn't good there. He needs to find some more time to try and challenge for pole position. However, though, he's doing a very good job right now, sitting in second place, beating his championship rivals. Ooh, oh, and he makes a mistake there through turn 8, and unfortunately it invalidates his lap, and I've just been kicked out of the session. That's just great. Lovely. Why does this happen all the time? Well, if anyone can be a legend, send me another invite, unless I got a spare. Actually, I've got a spare. See if I can rejoin. You know, Cody's can't fix the servers at all with this game. I am back. There we go. So you're just going to miss a little bit of quality, and actually, I believe Lewis Milan actually sent me an invite, and thank you very much. Do apologise for that. I don't know what it is with the servers today. Then let's see who else improved on their quality laps as it kicked me out. Oh, yellows, and that's Wenting. As I've just come back, moving out of the way there for the Haas, which is Lyrinix. On an out lap, apparently. I don't know if that's because I've just joined. And he's on medium tyres, so maybe that's why Linux didn't do a good lap to go on mediums for Banker. 2 minutes 36 seconds remaining in the session. Is there rain in the race, like late on or something, or are the guys who sit on a medium doing a one-stop strategy to medium to hard? Here comes Linux then, round the final corner, hits DRS and coming to the line, and it's 11th with a 1:15.138, so it does improve. We'll go on board with Dane, so he's actually backed off on his lap altogether. Both Red Bulls sitting in 15th and 16th. This isn't good for them, as I believe currently our pole position man, Causey, is on a lap in the Ferrari, and it's doing a good job for Ferrari right now, currently sitting on the top step. Brett there moves out of the way for the rest of the drivers. Oh, purple in sector 2, 1.5 tenths up on his time. So Causey is definitely trying to get pole position in Spain at the moment, and it ain't really that bad place to be. Ooh, bit of a hesitation on the wheel, a bit of correction. Have a look round the chicane now. Goes to gear 2, moves to third. Oh, bit of the rears, a bit unstable, but he's coming to the final corner. Has he lost any time? Comes to the line, and it's 4/10 improvement, a 13.9. What a lap there from Causey, and a good drive there for him. He will definitely be happy with that and think that his pole position is safe. Anybody else actually on a lap? Wentix actually on a lap in the race point. Oh, and he invalidates. That is a shame. And he just has enough time there for another flying attempt. As nobody else, actually the Red Bull of Matthews is on a lap right now. on the mediums. So both Red Bulls are looking for a medium tyre strategy run. Currently sitting in 15th and 16th. There's yellows. Is that? I think that might be Ollie actually letting them through. Could be Bran actually. It is Bran because Bran's the only one who's on an outlap. Then, as Matthews now approaching turn number 7. Very easy to invalidate in turn 8. Nope, doesn't make any mistakes. Oh, but he makes a mistake there through turn 9 and invalidates, and his qualifying will be over. The next is a Haas. Is that Lyrinix? Yes. Isn't on an improvement. I don't know why Lyrinix actually start mediums. That's actually going to cost us so much time. And the next up would be Brett. Oh, bit of a lock up there from Brett actually, as he's the only one in the Renault today. Stainstar moves to 13th with a 15.3 as qualifying is over now. Matthews unfortunately didn't make it to the line. However though, Brett is coming around the final corner now. Doesn't make a mistake, doesn't invalidate or anything. As Spaghetti's actually retired and Brett doesn't improve. Mark though does improve, goes 5th fastest. What about Ollie? Ollie comes to the line and backs off. 15.581. He didn't invalidate or anything. He wasn't happy with a lap. As Wentink moves to 12th, as Krypton, I believe, is on a lap right now. And it takes 2nd place with a 14.4 then, as we'll go on board with Brandon. Brandon's currently sitting in 7th place. Could get a good result here today for him. And he does a 14.4, and this is a good time for Brandon. Moves into 4th place, 14.408. Couple of thousandths there off Krypton, who takes 3rd in quali. What about Slash? Slash is on a qualifying lap. Has Toby manually retired? Yes, he has, but luckily Slash is going into the pits. And that is qualifying then. And he retires in the pits, which is awesome. So we can get straight with the race. As then we will go on the official results. Because then, in 1st place with a 13.9 in the Ferrari. Donestic in 2nd with a 14.2, 3/10 there off the Ferrari. Ahead of his championship rival though, Crips Knight in 3rd with a 14.4. Brandon very close, only a couple of thousandths in 4th place, with Slash in 5th. AlphaTauri looking very strong at the Spanish Grand Prix. Mark in 6th. Laggy Person in 7th, Toby in 8th, Brett in 9th, Spaghetti in 10th, Linux 11th, Agk Wentink 12th, Scuba 13th, Dainstar 14th, Ollie 15th, and Matthews in the Red Bull in 16th place. As I says, he didn't want to be in the top 10, he wanted to start on fresh tyres, and that could be a good strategy. If there is rain, and it doesn't look at the moment that there is rain. Looks actually quite clear. However, though, it's been clear before, and we've had cloud, and it then rains near the end of the race. So the weather can be a bit sketchy as we wait for the people to finalise their setups, tweak their front wings or anything they need to do, and add fuel loads, reduce fuel loads, and tyre strategies and race strategies as we wait for the drivers. And I will do my race prediction when I see the grid again and see what everyone's tyre compound. As Callum says, let's go, Brett. So he's tuning on Brett then. And we get the predicted pit stop strategy, which is apparently soft, medium, medium, and it would be a 2-stop for the soft runners. However, though, we will see the tyre compounds and everything. Well then, We will go down the grid again. Quarters then in first, Nistic in second, Krypton is in third place with Brandon fourth, Slash in fifth, Mark is in sixth place in the McLaren, Lewis Milan in seventh in the Williams, a bit further down than his teammate, Toby in eighth, also further down than Causey, who's in first place right now, Brett in a lonely ninth, with both Haas drivers 10th and 11th, who are looking very strong in the constructors, but not with this result if they ended up like this in today's race. Wenting in 12th, unfortunately Dartbolt, his teammate, in here. Scuba 13th, Danestar is in 14th, Ollie Favell in 15th, who backed off on his lap time to be on a fresh set of tyres, with Matthews in 16th. So both Red Bulls struggling in quali then. And also the tyre strategies then. The Haas have done an alternate strategy, soft for Spaghetti, Lyrinix is on mediums. And Wenting's actually gone on softs in 12th, that's interesting. Scuba's gone mediums, Danestar on hard, so that could be a good strategy. Ollie in mediums, same Matthews on mediums as well. So Danestar, we're going to have to watch out for if there's not an early safety car. Danestar could be a threat for the guys at the top, because Danestar can do a one stop. These guys have been in a two stop and they're going to have to pull a 20-second gap. So that'll be very interesting how Danestar can make his way through the field. However, we will go on board with our race leader who's already got to the grid. Very not being patient, wants to just get under the way of this race. He knows he could win it. But my prediction, I think Causey's going to take fourth. Krypton, I think, stays third. Dynistic, I think, is going to win. But second, I think Danestar, in my opinion. I think Danestar is going to be able to climb up the field on those hards and get second. I think he could do well here on that strategy. If you guys do want your predictions, do put them down in the comments and I will read them out. Well, then, light sequence should be starting as everyone is rounded up then. As the light sequence is starting now. As we're down to 5 red lights for the PSGL Season 26 F4 tier. Round 4 at Spain, and it looks like the Ferrari's had a decent start. Same with the Knicks, it's already pulling on this slipstream on the Ferrari, as Krypton hasn't had the best start, and there's already almost a free wide moment there, and a Red Bull there backs off, and I believe that's Danestar to avoid contact. As we go down the grid, any carbon fibre or any crashes or anything. Oh, and yes, there is. There's a massive crash there. Ollie Favell's already been in trouble. Got end plate damage, and he wanted to start at the back of the grid. I don't think that was a good strategy there. Contact with Scuba as they're going 3 wide into turn 4. Matthews there moves ahead on both drivers, and Scuba gets the position, and Ollie then in 16th. They're going to be very disappointed and a lot of work to do, and he's going to have to pray for a safety car. Although back to the lead, because he's had a decent start, currently in the lead right now. Dynistic tried to get the slipstream into turn 1, couldn't get it. We don't count out Brandon, he's managed to hold 4th somehow, but look at Laggy Person right now, he's looking really quick as he's moved into 6th place. Toby's moved to 7th, so I'm guessing that was Scuba who's lost all the positions. That's actually Mark who's lost it. Mark was 7th, sorry, 6th actually. Oh, bit of a correction there for Toby, running a bit wide into the chicane. Oh, very struggling on grip already on the softs. One broad of Brand because that's the current fast lap 21 flat. That will be beaten, and typical. DRS isn't enabled. Good race control. As apparently Linux is in the lead, which it's not correct. I don't know why this does this. Look, Brandon is doing very well for 4th. We'll stay on board with Toby because he's got a massive train behind him. And actually, is that Wenting getting challenged? Wenting's getting challenged actually by the Haas behind the Lyrinix, who's on medium tyres. Spaghetti's lost a lot of positions, actually passed by both of these guys. And actually, Lyrinix making a move in the, well, turn 10. And it gets alongside. Ollie did pit for hards, going to the end possibly. Oh, very close. They're almost touching tyres. By riding that curb. Lyrinix, great move there, gets ahead of Wenting. Wenting drops to 11th, Lyrinix in 10th place, and this is a good job for this driver, who's currently sitting in third in the Drivers' Championship, as Causey sets the new fastest lap, 17.7. And pulling away quite easily, and DRS is now enabled. As Brandon is still not doing anything, any moves getting made into turn 1? Not at the moment. Oh, actually, yes there is. I believe that was... Oh no, Ollie has retired. Ollie has actually binned it somehow through the curb where Lunix made everyone wenting. Will this cause a safety car? I wonder. How? I don't get that. How has he lost it up there? It has caused a safety car, and he's... Oh. If you're host, you stay in the lobby. Well, he's going to probably get lectured for that. I hope this doesn't cause a glitch because he's left. However, there is a safety car. I did call there would be a safety car with that then. And will any of the soft runners pit? This is kind of ruined Dainstar's strategy now, because everyone else, if they pit now, will be on only a one-stop strategy then, because they'll go on mediums for next stop. Which will cost the hards. And Causey doesn't pit. Dynastic don't pit. Krypton actually looked like he was pitting, actually cut the line a little bit. He needs to be careful he doesn't get reported for that, because that was very close. As people are pitting, and that is Spaghetti and Wenting. Both on softs, peeling into the pits. I wonder what tyre compound to go. It's going to be a battle for the pit crew. Who's going to win then? The Racing Point or the Haas team? As the Haas team have had an decent pit stop. And both drivers got on hard tyres, so they are going to the end then. Did I just see a Red Bull collide? Well then, while the guys do catch up, the strategy then for the rest of the field, who are still on softs, is a 2-stop. Isn't really the best strategy now. I would have gone on the hards, or even worse, mediums. Stretch the mediums and then gone for another set of mediums or hard tyres. But right now, you kind of cost yourself, because this is actually still helping Dainstar. The only people Dainstar's going to have to worry about is the guys behind him now, who are on fresh hards. Everyone has caught up, so I'm guessing the safety car won't come in this lap. No, safety car stays out. Anyone pitting? Nope, no one pit. So the safety car is staying out another lap then, and I'm very surprised Ollie actually binned it through that curb, because that's a very... It is an easy place actually to bin it, to be fair, on the old game, but this game they redid Sector 3, and it wasn't really that much of an issue, but maybe the setup he's running made the car a bit unstable up the curb, and it just sent him. But even still, it went in the gravel trap, so I'm surprised that actually still did cause a safety car, to be honest. Oh, Causey almost went in the rear end of the safety car. Be careful, you don't want to ruin your race and be taken out by the safety car, because you can't report the safety car. Safety car doesn't care what happens. As everyone's still warming up their tyres, safety car is finally in this lap. Race control has finally decided to bring it in. Well then, as everyone else is warming up their tyres. As Cozy then is warming up, ready. He can control the pace. He can go 1 mile an hour if he wanted to be honest, since he is the race leader. As the Ferrari is raring to go, as he hasn't bolted yet. What about now? He's taking an exit run, and now he's gone. As we are about to go green, down the long straight he goes, and he's had an excellent start, but so is Dynastix. Dynastix is gaining, but not enough, not using any of his DRS to make the move already, and stays behind currently. Is anyone making moves? Not right now, as Wentix actually lost a bit of time to Spaghetti, a couple of tenths. Let's have to go restarts, didn't have a good one. However, though, right now the Dynastix actually staying with Cozy, and maybe Cozy's got issue with his tyres or anything. His tyres may be a bit too cool. Oh, Dynastix there running a bit on that curb. And Brandon, I've got to say, Brandon's doing a very good job in 4th place, holding the rest of the drivers behind him, because he's had a poor start of the season. He's been scoring points the past 2 races, but at the start of the season he wasn't doing very well in quali or the race, and I think he's now finally strategized race and quali to optimize them to get him a bit better, as he's done very well right now. However, though, Cozy's still in the lead, as Dynastix now is using his overtake. If I was using this, I would have used the overtake a lot earlier. At least saying go Toby, and Toby is doing quite well, currently in 7th place. No overtakes at the moment. Yes, there is actually an overtake for P12. Scuba coming back after the accident at the start with Ollie Flavel, and gets past Dane, moves into 12th place. Dane has nothing to answer, but Dane doesn't have to worry. He is on hard tyres. He can take these for a lot longer than the guy on the mediums, and it could be still in the fight for this race. A bit of a lock-up for both drivers there. However, look, top 3 pulled away from Brand now, 1.2 seconds. So I'm guessing Brand's made a mistake somewhere, and he's now starting to feel the pressure from Slash behind by 7 tenths. However, look, we're going to go on Toby, who's currently the closest, as actually Cozy's now pulled a gap of 1.2 seconds to 2nd place. So Championship rivals could be fighting very shortly. However, look, one board with Toby, who's trying to catch up with Lewis Milan, Slash and Bran, doing the best as he can in the Ferrari. Oof. DRS has been re-enabled after the safety car. And any moves further behind? I think there is. Lyrinix is only a couple of tenths, looking for a possible lunge, but nothing at the moment. Has to stay behind in 10th place, but I've got to say Lyrinix is doing a very good job staying with these drivers. It's currently up on a personal best in Sector 1. Very good job. However, he's got to watch out for Dane. Sorry, Matthews actually, not Dane. I thought that was Dane, the lead Red Bull. Matthews actually had an alright start after the safety car restart. So we'll go on position gained after the safety car restart. And Matthews gained 5 positions from the start of this race and start of the safety car. The biggest losers are Spaghetti and Wenting, as they've lost 4 or 3 positions. As the Dynastix is in. Toby gets a 3 second. No moves yet. However, though, where will actually Dynastix come out the pits? In clean air. A lot of clean air indeed, actually. As three other drivers went in. Toby and Brett and Mark also peeled into the pits. And actually, Denistic's on hard tyres. So Denistic then is stopping Danestar's one stop and going hard to the end. Toby is going hard to the end. Brett's gone on medium, so Brett feels the two stop maybe quicker and is on medium tyres. However, Mark's gone on the hard tyres and could be a flaw in Brett's plan. However, back to the battle up for third place. Ollie right now, sorry, not Ollie, Brandon right now is actually getting caught by Slash. That's usually Ollie who's up front, but Brand's now starting to pull the work in. As Brand's in the pits then. Brand's pit. Slash then moved into third as Brand peels into the pits. And the gap to top three is roughly the same. So we'll go on board with a battle for fifth. Leonix then is doing a good job. It's the only battle on track right now since a lot of people have peeled into the pits for the hard compacted tyres. So Brett is taking a huge gamble to do the two-stop strategy, and Bran has lost a lot of time behind this. It's now 3.1 seconds currently. And Callan's actually giving us some information. Brett's game is glitched. Now, could you actually tell us what glitch it is? Is it the RS glitch? Is just the game glitch? Or is it just him using it as an excuse? But I know Brett usually doesn't, so I'm guessing the game is glitched. But not Brett, Callum, if you could let us know what the glitch is, hopefully it doesn't affect his race. The top three now, peel into the bits. And I don't see a battle right now. I don't think Lyrinix is going to get past Lewis Milan. No, not yet. So we're going to go on board with Krypton. I wanted to see where Krypton comes out in the pits. On hards, coming out of the garage. Will they lose time to Dinistix? As he's coming down, actually. Dinistix then peels back in the second. Gains a bit of time back on Causey. He was round about a second and a bit off. Brandon's lost time. He's been jumped by Slash. So Bran on his run had a bad run on those hards and it drops to 12. And that isn't good for him as he's now got Toby breathing down his neck. Just behind him in 13th. Now they're back for the battle for the lead at the moment. Or the current lead. Isn't the exact lead. It won't be the lead when these guys peel into the pits. And those guys will probably pit in the next 5 laps. Unless these guys stretch it to soft tyre territory. Actually, hang on a minute. Lewis is on soft tyres. Laggy has to pit. Surely. Yeah, Laggy's in the pit. So, Laggy's finally pit then. Lennox is going to get a bit of a boost with DRS. Already defending to the inside. To stop Matthews possibly catching up. But he is gaining, but not using overtake. No fights further down. However, I might have to go on board with Brandon. He's currently 2/10 behind Slash. Is he looking for a move possibly? Keep an eye out. Well, Matthews is really trying his best to catch up with Leonix, currently ahead, and actually Denstar's now gaining in 1.5 seconds, so the hard tyres may be starting to work on 11 laps. The hards we saw in F6 took 23 laps, I believe, and they were max they could do, so possibly lap 25, I'm guessing Dane will pit. I think roughly anyway. And the top two still don't pit. Now, look, we're going to go aboard with Brett because he's really close to the car ahead of him. which is Toby. And Toby is... Oh, Brett! Really trying to keep that car under control. Almost lose the rear end again. But in the ERS glitch... But he has a glitch. Now, is it the glitch where he can't change his tyres? I haven't had that, but I thought that was patched, and he isn't actually catching up at all now. Oh, Toby runs deep, however. Brett might finally get a good run out of turn 3. Yeah, it's so close. That dirty air isn't helping. He's trying to stay with him, trying to close the gap, looking, letting him know that he's there in his mirrors, getting real close. That gives us a bit of decent possibly there from Toby. Oh, Toby's on the grass now. Toby's now starting to feel the pressure. Bit of a lock up down the left front. And you can just see that Brett's a lot quick on these mediums, and this isn't good for his two-stop if he hasn't had that glitch where it's just won't let him change his strategy. But the two-stop at the moment isn't going to work for Brett. He is losing too much time. Actually, technically, I don't know if Wenting and Spaghetti are trying to make it to the end, but they're technically your net leaders because they're pitting the safety car. That's interesting. Although Brett is a lot closer finally now to the Ferrari of Toby. Toby now is in trouble. Brett is finally going to make the move. Getting on the gearbox alongside he goes in the inside now. Ahead of the car before turn 1. Oh, a bit of a lock up though, and Toby may try to get him back. The gap isn't open anymore, but look at the dirty air there from Toby. Just loses it completely. However, we're going to move on board with Brandon now. Just the car ahead. Still trying to catch up with Slash. Oh, a bit of a look up there on the left front. Slash has got a bit of 1 lap fresher tyres. However, Slash then is trying to catch up with Bran. Finally, Matthews actually is peeling to the pits then, so doing the undercut, mediums only could go to this distance, he feels. And he comes out the garage as one of the Williams there is passing the Ferrari of Toby, so Lewis Milan has got ahead. And actually, hang on, Toby's now dropped to 12th. Toby's now out of the points. What's going on here? What have I missed? Look, we're going battle for P5 as Dynastix is still trying everything he can to keep pulling away from Krypton, but staying with Causey. Causey though has got 10% more, possibly more in ERS, and catching up with Wenting, currently 1.4 seconds ahead. Brett then gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time. As Lunix finally pits then. Where will Lunix actually come out? Apologies for that. Screen, my controller's actually running out. Linux then peels into the pits as coming out then. Will Linux actually get jumped by the Red Bull? Oh, why is it doing that glitch where it doesn't let me? Toby and the Haas of Linux gets out, and look how much traffic Matthews has got then behind. Can't get past Toby, and this is what Linux needs to get ahead and now start pulling away ahead of a laggy person now who's on the hard compound of tyre. Brett's the only person on mediums. Dane, however, still needs to peel into the pits. As though we're going to go battle for third as Causey's reeled in Wenting now. 5/10 the gap is currently. Getting closer and closer. Lock up down the left front. Wentink is doing his best to keep the Ferrari behind. And I don't think Wentink has made the smartest strategy. I think mediums would have been the better tyre. Pit then, and then go on another set of mediums. But here comes the Ferrari. Look at the straight line speed, and now here comes Anistic. He's going to get a bit of a tour from Wentink now, and he's now going to make the move round the outside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Yes, he does. He moves into 4th, Cozy moves into 3rd. Wentink drops 2 positions. Now, 5 seconds up the road is Spaghetti, who's 2.6 down the road from Dainstar. However, though, we've got a position change further behind. Oh, and there hasn't been a crash, but Brett's got an issue. Has Brett got wing damage? No carbon fibre missing, but he just lost complete grip there out of turn 3. And lost 2 positions. As Laggy is doing his best to keep Linux behind. Linux still trying his best as Brand hasn't been able to get past Slash, and Brand's lost a lot of time, but currently in 8th. As Corey's new fastest out with a 1:17.362. Currently at the moment, possibly going to take 16 points as Wentink there has just been passed by Krypton. However, they're on board with Linux, who's now getting past Lewis Milan. Lewis Milan's not having it though. Possibly going to look for another move. No, stays behind into turn 1. And Linux there in the Haas moves into P9 now. Gap to leader from Dainstar is 17 seconds. So Dainstar, when he pits, will be in 14th possibly, or 15th coming out on track. It's the closest fight we do have on track right now. Oh, Brett again running wide. So I don't know if Brett's got a tyre issue or something. However, look, Dynastix is doing what he needs for the championship's sake to be ahead of Krypton. Oh, that's Brett into the wall, and Brett is out. Brett is into the wall. I just caught the end of that, and that is a safety car. That has saved Dainstar right now. Where will Dainstar pit? If he has any brains, he does. He peels into the pit. Smart decision there from Dane. Best decision out of everything. Spaghetti is falling, so Spaghetti and Dane have been saved. They're not going to lose that much time. They could possibly now go mediums to the end. Well, they're going to have to. Well, Dainstar's going to have to. But what about Spaghetti? Is he going mediums? Yep, the Haas team are strapping the mediums on. And he's got held up. Or is that... No, that's a glitch. He didn't get held up. Where are they coming out? Brand's now back in a 4th. Dane's moved to 5th. On. Linux just gets ahead of a teammate. Spaghetti then moves to 7th. However, what about Mark? How much time has he lost? Mark's in 14th then, and that's disappointing for Brett, unfortunately. DNF, our second retirement of the race. That is a shame. We'll go on board our race leader, Causey, back where he started. And he will be happy with that. I haven't seen any penalties for him wrap up. Currently got the fastest lap. Currently will take 26 points. Not 26 points, that would be actually the normal driver's standard. That's my apologies. I'd like to take 17 points now, since he is first. So he is happy where he is then, as everybody else is really warming up the tyres already. Don't wear them out too much. It is Spain, it isn't Spa. Like, the tyre wear isn't that much of an issue. I'll try and find out what happened with Brett then, while we're under the safety car condition. As Causey does a dummy, then they go into pits. No one follows. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. That isn't my eyes deceive me or anything. What's happened to the Dynastix? He's dropped to 10th, so he pit. He actually pit. Now that is risky. Very risky indeed. He's taken the mediums to the end. They definitely can make it to the end as people made 15 laps. Currently 14 laps left, so that's a risky strategy. He's going to have to make his way all the way through the field to challenge for pole position, and this could help Krypton. Krypton's second. This is what he needs to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And right now, he's sitting at the moment currently in the Drivers, in the lead of the Drivers' Championship at the moment in second place. So Denisic's got a lot of work to do to make his way through the field. Everyone all the way from 10th to 14th have got on fresh mediums. I feel sorry for Scuba and Lewis Milan. Oh, don't get too close, guys. Safety car is in this lap then. Will Krypton be able to get ahead of Causey this time? As Nistix had a great start as well as Causey on the lap safety car. But, yeah, maybe Causey can outperform him. And don't count out Dainstar. Dainstar's in 5th. And I said he could possibly get a podium or get 4th at least. And he's 5th right now on medium tyres. This guy can possibly challenge for the win of this race. He's done a very good strategy. And he has gone. Here goes the Ferrari of Causey. Oh, a bit of a rear end there. And Krypton's had an alright start, but so has Slash. Slash has had a great start. Right behind Krypton now, as he's going to possibly challenge into turn 1. He's getting closer and closer, but not enough. Krypton goes to the inside to let Causey that he's there. But no positions changed for the top 3. However, Dainstar moves into 4th. What's happened to Bran? Bran has bottled. Bran has bottled it. He is in 14th place. Bottle indeed for the Brandon. And Brandon Glover is back in the bottle murk again. Yet again, disappointing from him. As Denisic then moves into 8th place. Unfortunately, I just missed that. Actually, no, I'm not missing it. He's still fighting out. Lewis Milan moves into 7th. Denisic's trying to do everything to get past Scuba. Scuba's defending. Oh, there's been contact. Possibly a bit of carbon fibre damage. I've had a crash there with OTP. And you don't want to have another crash around here. That's how they'll look at Wentic. He's looking aggressive and he gets ahead of Denistic. Moves into 9th, but Denistic still side by side. And look at the Ferrari. Where's Toby come from? He's come out of nowhere and gets past Denistic. Denistic is out of the points. This isn't good for his championship. And now he drops to 11th as Toby moves into 10th. Gets a 1 point for the Ferrari team and already Causey's already jumped to 1.1 seconds in a lap. However, though, we're going to go back on board with Dainstar. He's not that far off Slash, but he may be not having straight line speed as Spaghetti is now catching up. But right now, this track isn't really a passing track. However, there might be a pass further down the field. As Denistic's pit, he isn't retiring, is he? Oh, as Mark's going side by side against the Red Bull. Absolute great racing. This is still going side by side. Very close, almost touching tyres there as Matthews is holding the inside of turn 4. Mark is letting him know that he's on the outside possibly, but he doesn't go for it and has to wait his turn as Brandon now is starting to catch back up, currently 4 seconds behind these two drivers. As Denisic's actually on the soft tyres, so he's going for the fastest lap then, which is currently held by Causey with a 17.3. However, back to the battle for front as there's a massive train for second place. Like, Krypton's parking a bus. And that Williams is basically doing what it's in real life, being slow right now. And Slash is getting a bit impatient. He knows he could possibly win this race. And I think he could. I think he's a lot quicker than these two. But he needs to get ahead of Krypton. Oh, look at the mistake of Krypton. He's bottling. This isn't like Krypton. I've raced against him before. He's been very quick. He's not like to bottle at this circuit. However, Slash is gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. But is he going for it? Not at the moment. Has to wait his turn for another lap. But he's a lot quicker, and if he keeps giving the pressure to Krypton, Krypton could make a mistake and possibly crash. Now, though, both Hasses are sitting in a great position, and I said earlier in this race that they were, well, 9th and 10th, disappointing for the constructors possibly, but now they're 5th and 6th, as Nistic picks up a penalty, 3 seconds added to his time, and that isn't good for him, as, one of the Red Bulls there locked up, and actually I think that was Dainstar, as also the AlphaTauri locked up, but he's doing a very good job to keep within Krypton and Slash. Spaghetti picks up a penalty, 3 seconds added to his time. As he's doing his best, but he just can't. Just stay with him. The aero on these two have got good aero package. And look at this. As these guys keep fighting in the dirty air, it's making Causey pull away. Now the gap, 2.4 seconds. Causey's doing what he needs to win this race. So on lap number 24, I think Slash has got a chance this time. He's a lot closer. Krypton, your number is up, and here comes Slash round the outside, showing the Williams who is boss, and gets the move, moves into 2nd place, and Krypton's not finished with a bit of contact, I think, there, possibly in turn 2, as Slash makes a mistake, touches the grass, and Krypton isn't finished with Slash, possibly may want a revenge dive into turn 4, no, stays behind, but has to watch out for Dainstar. Dainstar's rubbing that rear tyre, he's quicker, on the mediums, he is a lot quicker now. And he's very close on the brakes. Needs to get a good exit, see if he can get a good run on Krypton. As Krypton there gets better traction. As Krypton there managed to pull away. He was going for a move there. Krypton locks up on those hards. I don't know how long these hards are going to be useful, because yeah, they've been under the safety car, but he's been locking up a lot on that right side. He could possibly get a punch near the end, Krypton, if he's not careful. He keeps locking up and making errors. But Dainstar is looking really hungry to get a nice nose cam, but he's a bit far out. Will Slash now be under threat, as both Haas drivers further down are staying close to Dane. No move right now as we go down the grid. Brandon's lost more time. Gap now 4.7 seconds. Causey is still doing a good job. Gap to 2nd place is 3 seconds. So Slash isn't quick enough. And Inistix has retired, and that is a shame for the tier admin or league admin for this division. And it is a shame indeed, because now he's going to lose the champion's points lead in today's race. I think he's just had a bit of bad luck for this week. Although both Hasses are looking very hungry, and Krypton is defending now from Dane. Dane's going around the outside pass, but Krypton's got to give him space. Can shove up a little bit. But look, hang on, where did Limonix Spaghetti come from? Round the outside there. Awesome chance for an overtake. Going side by side with Dane. This is not what Dane needs. He's a lot quicker, but Spaghetti's not having it into the chicane, which isn't really an overtaking move. They're still going side by side, banging tyres, and there's still, oh no, there's a bit of contact, shoves him up a little bit, but look at Limonix. Limonix in the other Haas is looking hungry and makes the move so close to the wall. Hopefully this doesn't result in a crash, but I'm losing my voice as it's almost 3 wide. I can't believe that everyone's trying to get past Dainstar. A bit more contact from Dainstar with Laggy personnel. Moves to 4th, and Spaghetti is trying his best. As, hang on, is that, oh no, that's the other AlphaTauri who retired. No one can make a move. Now back to green. Spaghetti's still side by side. Spaghetti's lost most out of that move. He was 4th, and sorry, 5th, and now he's dropped to 8th, but he's still going side by side with Scuba. It's now behind Torby. Oh no, don't do that. There has been a crash there before. Don't want to have a repeat and a bit of a flashback. Torby then into 10th. It's one lap 26 out of 33. Brand's still losing time, even though these guys are fighting. It's a very close grid for 5th place, and Krypton, I think, has been basically saved now. Dainstar's lost too much time, and basically Krypton, I'm guessing, is going to say to Lewis, just park the bus, literally save fuel, save your ERS, and just make Dainstar lose position, and the next host is now left, which is Inistix. So we've now lost another host. which I don't think he knew he was host, but here it is though. Enough about host. Dainstar now looking hungry, going on the outside into turn 1. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Lewis Milan, very aggressive, but comes back at him. Dainstar has to get in the position back, but he does, and he comes back around the outside. Oh, don't spin him there, Lewis. Be careful. You know, he is alongside. You know, one touch and you don't want to put him into the wall and give yourself a massive penalty. Although further behind, the Haas of Scuba is still, not the Haas of Scuba, the Alfa Romeo Scuba, the Haas of Spaghetti is still trying to get around Scuba, but at the moment can't do it. It's still going side by side, and he's going around the outside of turn 7. Oh, and there's contact, and we've seen an Alfa Romeo before, a spin it here, and yet again, it was FRL Terrace in F6 under the safety car. Scuba has now just been spun by Spaghetti by touching his tyre and drops to 13th. That's another championship contender who was in 4th in the championship, who's not going to score points, it looks like. Havlot back for the battle for the lead. Kryptonite is in big trouble. Lyrinix in the other Haas is challenging for 3rd place, so could Kryptonite lose a podium position? As here comes Kryptonite, really under threat. As here comes Lyrinix now on the inside, makes the move very easy, and Krypton drops to 4th place then. And Krypton will be a bit disappointed, but he'll be happy. He's still scoring more points than the championship rival. You can just see that Lyrinix has got a lot more grip on the tyres. They are fresher actually, 11 laps on them compared to Krypton's 16. So I'm not surprised Krypton's tyres are starting to fall off. Will Slash actually get caught by Lyrinix? Scuba's now gone for the fast lap, which was being taken by the Mystics, who retired with a 16.435. So we possibly could get in the 15s on the fastest lap. Well, we're going to go back for the battle for 6th place. Dainstar's not catching Krypton at the moment. 2 seconds the gap is. It was 4th to 3/10 earlier on. But he's lost so much time since Spaghetti tried to get past him. As we're on board with Lewis Milan. As look at Dainstar already defending. Here comes Lewis. He's gaining, but nothing at the moment. He shows that he wants to go for it, but it'll be a massive dive bomb to make that work. Gap to Dane though, to Krypton, 2.1, so he lost a 10th alone down the straight. Brian's actually now gained a little bit of time on Mark, 4 seconds. That's one lap, 29 out of 33, and I've got to say, Causey hasn't put 1 foot wrong in this race there. He's just been on the top step right now. He's been doing very well in the lead. Got a massive gap, 3.5 seconds, and I don't think that's going to be under threat unless his tyres really start overheating. Spaghetti picks up a penalty. As Slash is in 2nd. Still losing time actually. Ooh, bit of the rear end was loose, and actually I think getting caught by Lyrinix, so Lyrinix could get 2nd place here. Then in 5th place, still defending to try and hold Laggy behind, but Laggy's a lot closer and he's possibly going for it now. Dane, oh, that's questionable. That is questionable for Dane. That was a late lunge, and we've seen Dane do this before in Hungary against Brandon. That was late, and that could have involved in a massive crash, and I know Laggy, he'll definitely report that. He'll be furious under that helmet. And Dane, I don't know what you're playing at. You can't make 2 moves on the straight, you know, like that. That's one, and then very silly there from the Red Bull. And Lewis won't be happy, but I think Lewis will get him next lap. As the Haas of Spaghetti is still closing. This could be a very good points haul there for the Haas team today. Although further behind, Toby still under threat for 10th. Mark is staying with him. Mark looks a lot quicker on the mediums, as on lap 31 of 33 in this race. Only a couple of laps to go. I think Cody is going to win without a doubt. There's no chance of a safety car now. The safety car would be too late, and I don't think a VSC. However, Mark just can't keep it up with Toby in Sector 2, but in Sector 3, he's all over him. I'll look back to Lewis. Will Dane make 2 moves? And the gap between him and Krypton is 1.8 now, so Krypton has lost a bit of time out of Dane. Liam's gap to Slash is 1.2, so we might have actually a final battle for second place on the last lap. We're on the penultimate lap of the race, and here comes Dane, and he's defending on the inside. And this time he's realised he can't make 2, so the team's probably told him. As here comes Lewis round the outside and gets the move done and moves into 5th place. Now, will there be team orders if he catches up with his teammate? I don't know. However, now Spaghetti is catching up with Dane. The gap's under a second. Linux has only got one more chance to do this. Scuba's pitting for another set of softs. I don't think he's got enough time. I think he may get lapped. As Linux 8/10 now, we're going to possibly go on that battle very shortly. As we're on the final lap of this race, and we're going to go on board with the battle for second place. Lyrinix, who started, has gained 8 positions again. The only person who's also gained 8 is Danestar. But right now, Lyrinix is looking a lot faster on the fresher rubber than Slash, who's done 21 laps, and he's clawing into his gap. It's on the final lap. Will Lyrinix have enough time? Or will fate ruin it and only make Linux finish in 3rd? We will probably go on the race leader though, because I don't think he's Linux can have enough. I think an extra lap would have been better. Well, that's just bad luck, it looks like. Although we jump to the race leader at the moment, which is Causey. Current gap 4.4 seconds and still pulling away on really used hards as he comes around the final corner to take the F4 win in season 26 at Spain for PSGL. Causey takes the win on track. Slash takes 2nd. Linux takes 3rd. But what about Krypton? Krypton doesn't jump, had penalties. Lewis Milan's 5th. Danestar is in... Wow, Danestar's actually had a lot of penalties. Drops to 8th. Matthews then moves to 9th. Lewis Milan in 6th. Mark 7th. Toby in 9th. Spaghetti drops to 10th. Wenting in 11th. Brandon finishes in 12th place then, as Scuba did actually just get around in time and is going for the fastest lap as he's coming around turn 9. As we'll just watch how he finishes off the lap. And there we have it then. Scuba finishing 8th and steals the fastest lap then, as I just kept quiet to basically let you guys hear him finish off his lap, but you didn't want me rambling on. Driver there then was Matthews then, and I think I've got to agree. You know, finishing in 5th, it's a good result, but however though, this man on the top step of the podium is Causey in Ferrari, gets the win in Spain. Second place there was Slash this time. The other AlphaTauri gets a podium in second. And in third place, Lyrinix, who has actually scored some points and I think may have moved second in the Drivers' Championship against Dynastic, who scored 0 points. As Cody is saying, there's no interview. Sorry, that's understandable. That's fine. Well then, as we go down the grid then, Causey in first, doesn't unfortunately take the fast lap, so only takes 16 points. Slash in second, Linux third, Kryptonite in fourth, Matthews in fifth, Lewis Milan in sixth, Mark is in seventh, Danestar is in 8th place with Toby in 9th, Spaghetti in 10th, IGK Wentink, unfortunate with the strategy call, didn't work out, finishes in 11th, and Brandon Glover, who was in 4th at one point, just bottled under the pressure and finished in 12th out of those. Scuba does take the fastest lap but doesn't score points since he wasn't in the top 10, but finished in 13th. Out of Nistic, Brett, Ollie Flavel all DNF'd in today's race. Well then, I will invite the top 3 for podium interview. Apologise for that there. A little bit of silence there, just something important popped up. I know Cody doesn't want it, so it's just Slash and Linux then. Okay, I don't know why it says Hanoi on the track, but we're not doing Hanoi. Other people driving for anything? I'll get them to 20 past and no one's in, and I'll close the stream down. Well then, we do actually have Slash then. Well, Slash, just to make sure, is your voice allowed to be shared so the stream can hear you?
Yeah, it says always allowed, so...
Yeah, that's brilliant then. Well then, congratulations on second place there at Spain. Unfortunately, your teammate couldn't do well, but you've actually got one up on your teammate today. How do you feel that your race went with everything that went on?
In the first stage of the race, I was keeping up with the leaders, with Brandon, and then after that, when he pitted, I decided to go an extra lap because I felt like I could overcut him, which happened. And then everything was going smoothly until the second safety car came out, and then that's when I feel like that's where all the chaos began to happen.
Well, yeah, the safety car was a little bit chaotic, as you had 2 safety cars, and I think actually the safety car kind of helped you a little bit against Krypton, because Krypton for some reason was really struggling on the hard tyres and that, but with Linux catching you up on the final few laps, did you think that your second place was in jeopardy, or did Linux had an extra penalty that you didn't have possibly, or do you think your position was safe?
I was wondering because before I overtook Krypton, I checked how many penalties he had. He had nothing. So at the time, I had to overtake him and try to build up 3 seconds. And then Leonix came, and he had the same as me. So if he overtook me, I basically lost the podium for the whole time. And then when I crossed the line, I realized Krypton had already had a penalty. So in the end, it didn't really matter. I would be in the podium. They're like either way.
Well, unfortunate that your teammate, as I said, didn't get a good result. But in the constructors, do you feel with who was it? Who got first? The Ferrari of Corsi. Do you think Corsi, and I think he is a full-time driver in Ferrari, do you think he could, with his teammate, be a challenge to the AlphaTauri and the Williams team for the constructors fight in the possible rounds coming up?
I think so. I raced against Casey before back in one race, and he was really rapid. So knowing his pace, I feel like he's gonna be like one out of the front. Like I feel like a lot of races. So I feel like if we have like consistency, me and my teammates, then hopefully we can be up front.
Okay then. Well, I'm going to ask you your final question then, which is Spa next week. How do you feel you're going to be there? Do you think you could beat your teammate again and possibly get another podium or even a win? Or do you think if Corsi or Krypton can, keep doing what they're doing, keep putting the pressure on, do you think one of them could win?
For me, for like the first 4 races, the quali pace has been right up there, but in my race pace, it's just been awful. So I've been practicing mostly in this track for race pace only, so hopefully Spa I can just do the similar thing, and we'll see what happens.
Okay then, well, hopefully you do well at Spa, as I know Spa can be a tricky track. There can be a lot of accidents, especially for a Rouge and that. But good luck for Spa next week, and thank you for taking your time for the interview, and congratulations yet again on second place. And hopefully we'll see you on the podium next week.
Hopefully.
Well then, this has been PSGL Season 26 F4 Tier Round 4 at Spain. I've been your commentator for today, IRL Neon. I was Jared Fosbury. As I said, my co-commentator Matt will return as the main streamer for next week. He just had a personal reason why he couldn't make it, but he will be back. But I've enjoyed the race today. It's been a very good race, and if you want to see more content for PSGL, I believe the FP tier, which is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I think F1's currently on right now. Do go and watch that and enjoy that race. But have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.